A woman's body was found naked and beaten in an isolated area of southwest Dayton in 1990. No one was ever arrested or charged, and the case went cold. But now, more than 30 years later, someone came forward with new information, and detectives believe this new evidence, combined with advanced technology, may lead them to finally solve this Miami Valley murder mystery.
As you can see, it's very overgrown.
It's like deja vu for retired Dayton homicide detective Doyle Burke. Do you believe she was killed here?
No.
He's retracing the steps he took on December 12, 1990. Two people searching for cans had stumbled across a woman's nude body off the side of Guthrie Road.
I believe she was basically dumped here, but I really believe the homicide occurred somewhere else.
The victim, 33-year-old Brenda Gaddis. Her family hadn't seen her since Thanksgiving and had reported her missing.
She had several blunt force trauma injuries, so basically beaten to death.
Dayton police homicide detectives, including Burke, investigated Brenda's murder, but couldn't find her killer, and the case went cold. Until now.
We were fortunate enough that an individual did come to the cold case unit just a few months ago and provided information as to a location and where this occurred and a potential suspect.
Outwardly, Brenda Gaddis appeared to live a fairly normal life. She had 3 children, and she worked at the Hoover bowling alley that used to sit here. She had a boyfriend who worked here too, but her life had taken a troubling turn that has made her murder a tough case to crack.
She had a drug addiction, and of course that drove her into sometimes prostitution, and that of course leads us to a problem in solving these cases because you're leading a high-risk lifestyle and you're interacting with total strangers.
However, Brenda's body yielded a valuable clue: DNA from fingernail scrapings.
But when you have DNA from an unknown male underneath your fingernails, you're fighting for your life. So we're confident this is probably our suspect's DNA.
He says the potential suspect may still be living in the area, but cautions it could take months for the lab to determine if the suspect's DNA matches that from Brenda. If it does, Dayton Police Major Brian Johns believes the cold case unit may be able to solve Brenda's murder and the murders of other women during that same time period with similar lifestyles.
The 80s and early 90s, we had other cases, sadly, like Miss Gaddis, right, where in Dayton, where they were found dead along the side of a road. But we're actually looking at all those cases. So maybe if we find out who killed Miss Gaddis, we can find out who killed some of the other ones in Dayton as well.
Dayton police have expanded the cold case unit, assigning 3 full-time detectives and bringing back 4 retired detectives who are volunteering their time and expertise. Why is it so important to still clear some of these unsolved murders and sexual assaults?
Well, and we get that question a lot, right? We have cases dating back 70, 80 years, and like, why do you go back that far? And everybody is important and every victim's important.
Brenda Gaddis's murder was one of over 800 Doyle Burke investigated as a Dayton homicide detective. Most were solved, but of those that weren't, the possibility of bringing justice to even one more victim and their family is reward enough to return.
Like I told my wife, how do you say no? I did this for 29 years in Dayton. Dayton was always good to me. They asked, and I was honored to be asked, and I'll do the best I can.
Major Johns tells me they solve a lot of cases through DNA, but they solve twice as many when people who actually know something say something. He urges anyone with information about any unsolved murder to call their hotline, 937-333-7109, or you can call Crime Stoppers, 222-STOP. Now, you heard him also talk about other unsolved murders of women around that same time Brenda Gaddis was killed. In my digital extra on WHIO.com, you can see some of their names and where those women were found.